Hi everybody, welcome back after a long hiatus. This is Mr. D TV. I'm Mr. D. Um, do you carry home a box with you every day from school? Or maybe a large bag, or God forbid, rolling luggage, or those rolling boxes, the collapsible ones? Well, I'm here to tell you one simple thing. Put down the box. This is a lesson that took me, unfortunately, more than my first year of teaching to figure out. In fact, the box got bigger from year one to about, I'd say, year 4 or 5 of teaching. It started with something simple, like once in a while I'd bring home notebooks to grade notebooks. Then I'd start to bring them, well, I need the textbooks because I got to come up with examples. I have to read the textbook ahead and come up with some things I can use that for, or other resource books. Papers, of course, to grade, etc., etc., etc. And what began to happen very quickly, even in the first year, was that I would fill the box up with all the stuff I needed to do, carry the box in my car, put the box in my trunk, close the trunk, drive home, leave the box in the car, or worse, bring it into the house, put it down, not look at it again until the next morning when I had to pick it up and lift it back into my trunk and back to school again. While that's wonderful exercise, it is nothing but stress because I felt guilty every single time I brought stuff home and didn't do something with it. Because that's the way I'm wired and that's what I was basically taught to think as I started. And I think it's a good mindset to have. You should be working hard if you want to be a great teacher. That's fine. But you have to draw the line somewhere. Because if you stress yourself out, you're not going to be a good teacher. I've said that many, many times before, and I think that's obvious to anyone with a few years under their belt. And yet, knowing this, and knowing how frustrated I got, knowing that I never did anything, even less, I think, over time, with that box I was bringing home, and sometimes it wouldn't even leave my trunk by the later years, I finally said, what am I doing? And I just stopped bringing stuff home. Or if anything, I got a much smaller bag that was really just for the stuff I was actually going to do, the couple of things I really needed to look at. Or as I moved to Boston a couple of years ago, the only thing I kept in my bag was my stuff, the stuff I wanted to like read on the train or on the bus. Or bring with me the library books I had to bring back on the way home, like actual my stuff. When I stopped bringing home the book, God, I don't even have to tell you the level of stress that disappeared. And I saw a first year teacher friend of mine starting to do this, and I had to restrain myself from even getting angry. I mean, she didn't know any better, but she had the basket full of notebooks exactly like I had had 6 years previously. And I just didn't know what to say, except all I could say was, please promise me you'll never do this again, and let me tell you my story. And she did listen. She at least reduced it, and I think over time she'll learn that you don't have to bring everything home. Okay, so you're probably saying, well, okay, I can't bring my stuff home. When am I supposed to get all my work done? My grading, my planning, all that stuff. When you get to a certain point, you realize that you're going to have to find time during the school day, even when you have a schedule that doesn't make it seem possible. You're going to have to find ways to get that work done during the day. You're even going to have to find ways to change your assignments so that the onus is not on you to figure everything out. Maybe you have the students grade each other's papers. And this is stuff I've all said before, I think, in different videos. Or maybe I'm just remembering conversations I had with friends of mine and colleagues. But there are different ways to work around it. You find ways to reduce your workload, and you find ways to reduce the grading without reducing the quality of the instruction that you're giving, and that's really the key. That's what takes time to really learn. Because bringing home all that work every night does not make you a great teacher. Figuring out the most efficient way to get the information across to your students and give them what they need without killing yourself so that you can stay in the classroom for over the long term, that's what makes a great teacher. That's it for this week. I'll see you soon. I promise I'll start making videos again. And have a great weekend. Don't look